Hey everyone and welcome back to the breakdown. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a modded Minecraft server in Minecraft 1.16.2. Specifically, we're going to be making a Forge server for 1.16.2. Pretty much all of the most popular mods out there run on Forge, so it just makes sense to make a Forge server if you want to run mods. We're going to be going over every single step from how to download the correct files and get them set up on your computer to make sure you have the mods installed locally. It's all going to be covered in this video, but that doesn't mean that this is an easy process. It is a longer process. You can see this video is over 20 minutes long. It is a very, very intricate sort of process. You got to make sure all the mods are installed in the correct way and all that stuff. It's kind of overwhelming in some ways. And on top of that, this is using your own computer's resources, meaning that you need a decent computer to be able to run a server and Minecraft. Modded servers take more resources than a vanilla server or even a server that uses plugins. Because of that, it's going to require a beefier, better computer in order to play Minecraft while running a Forge server. It's even going to take a beefier computer to just run a Forge server alone. And then last but not least, this is not meant to be a public server. It's only meant to be for your friends, family, people you trust. So what if you don't have good enough hardware and you want to actually make sure you can play on your server? Or what if you want a public server? Well, that's where Apex Minecraft hosting comes in. You can check out Apex at the first link down below, the breakdown.xyz/Apex, where you can set up a Minecraft 1.16.2 Forge server in just one click and then easily add mods all from their web interface. Apex has 24/7 support, so if you have any issues, right, adding mods or anything, or any questions or anything like that, they are there 24/7 to help you out, answer those questions, and get you back in-game on your server quickly and easily. You're running on Apex's hardware, so you don't have to worry about having a good enough computer to run your server and play Minecraft. As long as you can play Minecraft normally, or play Minecraft with your mods, you can play Minecraft on your server with those mods as well, because Apex handles the hardware. And then last but not least, on Apex you have the choice. You can either have a private server or a public server. You can choose whether or not you want anyone to be able to join your server and be able to send the IP out to everybody, or if you want a private server, you can whitelist your server and then only your friends, family, people you want on your server can join. You have the choice. You can do a public server or a private server. It is all up to you, and Apex allows that to happen. We actually love Apex so much that we host our own server, play.breakdowncraft.com, on them. So if you're looking for a great Minecraft Forge server set up quickly and easy with no port forwarding or anything like that, Apex Minecraft hosting is the way to go. Check out Apex at the first link down below, the breakdown.xyz/Apex. But if you don't want to go through Apex, let's go ahead and show you how to set it up yourself on your own computer. To do that, you want to go to the second link down below. That's going to take you here. This is actually our Forge tutorial for installing Forge locally. The reason I want to show this is, one, you can get the server files from here, and two, your friends, every single person who plays on your server is going to need to install Forge and install the mods that you later add to your server on their local Minecraft. I have a separate video on how to add mods to your server, which you can check out at the top of your screen. It's also in the description down below. In that video, I say you need to install these mods locally. I show you how to do that and all of that stuff. So that's where this tutorial can come in. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and click on this green download Forge button once we're at the second link down below. That's going to take us off to Forge's official website, where we want to make sure it says 1.16.2 here. It doesn't say that. As you can see, it says 1.15. So what we want to do is click on the plus 1.16 on the left-hand side, click on 1.16.2, and then here we have under download latest, the most recent version of Forge. We want to click on the installer button under that, and it will take us off to add focus, where stop, your download's not ready. Don't click a single thing on this page. Don't click any download button on this page whatsoever. The only button you want to click on this page is the red skip button in the top right. Just click that red skip button in the top right, and then in the bottom left, Forge will download on Google Chrome. On Mozilla Firefox, it'll pop up in the center of your screen, and you will need to save the file. Again, as long as it has Forge in the title down here, we are good to keep the file. Now we can go ahead and minimize our browser. And here on the desktop, we have Forge 1.16.2. Now, if this isn't on your desktop, it's going to be found in your Downloads folder. To find that, click the little Windows icons in the top left of my screen, bottom left of your screen. Click that little Windows icon in the top or bottom left of your screen. Type in Downloads, and then have this Downloads file folder in Windows. Click on that, and you'll find Forge in here. Drag it to your desktop just for ease of use. Now, before we start doing anything with Forge, we need to actually right-click on our desktop, create a new folder, and then we can title that folder whatever you want. I'm going to name it play.breakdowncraft.com. Well, I'm naming it that because that is our own incredible Minecraft server. We have grief protected 1.16.2 survival, medieval survival, aquatic survival, skyblock, which is just amazing custom stuff on skyblock, and 1.8 factions with small team-based PvP. It is amazing. You will love it. So come play with us. Play.breakdowncraft.com is the IP. But nevertheless, once you've got that set up on your computer, that folder created, what you want to do is actually move over to this Forge folder. You want to right-click on Forge, click on Open With, and then you should have Java. But Nick, what if I don't have Java? Or if you do and you click OK and it doesn't work? Or what if this doesn't even look like this? It doesn't look like a coffee cup Java logo here. It looks like something completely different. Well, in that case, what you want to do is go to the description down below and come here. This is how to download and install Java for Minecraft servers and Minecraft mods. Well, we're making a modded server, so we're definitely going to need the correct version of Java here, and that's what this tutorial will allow you to do. It's a quick, simple 3-step process. Now, after that, you should be able to right-click on Forge and open it, but if you can't, or if the file still looks weird, it doesn't look like a Java file, what you need to do is run the jar fix. And what this is going to do is take all the .jar files on your computer and link them to Java once again, basically linking them up, making them work together all perfectly. So come here, run the jar fix after you've ran and got the correct version of Java, and then you should finally be able to right-click on Forge, click on Open With, click on Java, and click OK. It's then going to open up this right here, the mod system installer for Forge, where you want to do two things. The first thing you want to do is click on Install Client and click OK. That's going to install Forge locally. You need Forge locally in order to run it on your server and be able to play on your server. You have to play with Forge. So we're going to go ahead and install it locally. It'll then come up and say successfully installed. The reason it wouldn't is if you had never played Minecraft 1.16.2 without any mods or anything. So if that's the case, go play Minecraft 1.16.2, just open it to the main menu, close out of it, and you'll be good. It'll then say successfully installed client profile Forge. You can click OK there. It'll close out of everything. Then we need to right click on Forge again. This time we want to click on, oops, sorry if I can right click correctly. Right click on Forge again, click on Open With, click on Java, click OK, but instead of clicking Install Client, we want to click Install Server. Now when you do that, it's going to turn red, as you can see here. It turns this red box, and we will click these 3 lines on the right-hand side. When we click on that, we want to come over here to the left-hand side and click on Desktop, and then from here, we want to go ahead and select, right here, select the folder that we want to add these, basically, server files to. So in this case, play.breakdowncraft.com or whatever server folder you created. Now go ahead and click on Open in the bottom right. That red box will disappear, and we can go ahead and click OK. Now it's going to go ahead, download, and do everything that we need to get our server started. As you can see, files have already appeared in that folder there, and that's what it's doing. It's now installing everything Forge needs to kind of get the server set up and running. I'm going to go ahead and let this finish, and I will see you once it's done. And there we go. It is now finished up. As you can see, it says successfully downloaded Minecraft server and installed Forge 1.16.2. Awesome. We can go ahead and click OK. That'll close out of it. Now we can open up this folder we created. You can actually delete the Forge file that you have on your desktop. You don't need that anymore. You just need this folder you created. When you double click on it, in here you'll see a few things. You'll see Forge, you'll see Minecraft server, and you'll see 1.16.2. That's just basically all the files that it needs to kind of get started. However, to finish downloading and setting up things, there's a few things you need to do. First, you need to right click, create a new text document. Then you want to title this text document, new text document. You don't have to title it anything. Then go ahead and open up the new text document you created. And then in Notepad here, you want to go to the description down below and find these codes. Now, depending on how much RAM you have on your server, 2 gigabytes, 3 gigabytes, or 4 gigabytes, you need to copy these and paste them. For this server, we're going to add 4 gigabytes, so go ahead and copy it and paste it into here. And then we can minimize this. Again, all these are in the description down below. But before you save this document or anything, you want to make sure that it starts with Java, no spaces at the beginning, it starts with Java, and then ends with pause and no spaces at the end, right? So there we go, we've got that, it's correct. Now we want to go ahead and do File, Save As, right? Don't just click File, Save, do File, Save As. Name the file name as run.bat, so the file name is run.bat, and then the save type as is all files. Then go ahead and click the save button in the bottom right. Again, make sure save type as is all files. Click the save button in the bottom right. Close out of this notepad document, and now we have this run.bat file. Now, if yours doesn't say .bat after it, no worries. To get that, click on View at the top, and then turn on File Name Extensions. So click on View, click on File Name Extensions, and then you'll suddenly have all these .jars and file types, which I would recommend always turning on. Now, you want to go ahead and find this Forge 1.16.2, and then it's going to have a version number and then .jar. So find the Forge server.jar file. Go ahead and right-click on Forge here. So right-click on it, click Rename, and rename this to just Forge Server. Now, it should say Forge Server.jar unless you didn't turn on file name extensions, and then it would just be Forge Server. So now that we've done that, we can double-click on the run.bat file. It's going to go ahead, start to do things. Some things are going to start showing up here, but then eventually it's going to say it failed. It didn't work. And as you can see, failed to load a ula.txt. You need to agree to the EULA, and then you can press any key to continue. So go ahead, press any key to continue, but you now have a eula.txt file. Go ahead and double-click on that eula.txt file, and then in here you want to change eula equals false to eula equals true, T-R-U-E. Then go ahead and do File, Save, boom. eula equals true is now set. That is good. That's assuming you agree to the Minecraft EULA right here. If this server is going to agree to that, go ahead and do eula equals true, and you're good. Now do File, Save, and then we can close out of the eula.txt file. Now, if we double-click on the run.bat file, our Minecraft server will start. It's going to open up, it's going to work, and we are going to be good to go. So that means at this point, you could join your server, but just you. Your friends cannot join your server until you have port forwarded. Yes, you must port forward in order for your friends to join your Minecraft server. So the first startup of a Forge server is going to take a while. By the way, you might see warnings, you might see errors, you might see all different types of stuff. That is all normal on a Forge server startup. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, do a quick jump cut, and I will show you what to look for when this is finished. There we go. Once it has finished starting up, it will say done right here. That way we know it's done. And at this point, again, you can join your server. All right, but your friends cannot join your server. So let's go ahead and test to see if you can join. If you can't join this way, by the way, that means there's going to be some sort of an issue with like maybe an internal firewall. It's very rare you can't join this way, but I've seen some issues like that. Make sure you are playing with Forge though. We're gonna go over that. So first we need to get the IP address to join the server. To do that, you wanna go ahead and click on the little Windows icons in the top left of my screen, bottom left of your screen, click on that, and type in CMD, right like so. So you've got command prompt there. And then in command prompt, you wanna type ipconfig, ipconfig. Now, let's go ahead and open up a notepad document, and then we're going to copy some numbers from CMD over here into this notepad document. So in our case, we're going to need our IPv4 address. Let's go ahead and copy that, IPv4. Now, this is probably going to be completely different from you. That's why we have to find it. So for me, it's 192.168.1.123. Yours is most likely completely different. Then we also need our default gateway. Now, if you have two numbers for your default gateway, we want the one that is just numbers, not the one that's numbers and letters. For example, this address right up here, FE80 F07F, that is not what we want. If there's any letters in there, that's not the one we want. We want the other one, and in my case, I only have one, and that's going to be 192.168.1.1. And again, yours is probably completely different. That's why we're getting it this way. You can then close out a command prompt. Now we want to copy that IPv4 address that we have, open up Minecraft. Now again, don't slam that play button. You need to make sure you've got the Forge profile selected. So click down here in the bottom left, click on Forge. As you can see, it says Forge 1.16.2 under it. That means we're good to go, and we can click play. I am going to make Minecraft bigger with this version real quick though. Sorry about that. Should have done that. Oh, it's already set. Awesome. So we can go ahead and click play on Forge. And now Minecraft will open up, and we're going to be able to join this server. Now again, only you can join your server this way, but it's recommended you join your server this way because it's connecting directly from your computer. It's actually, your connection is never going out to the internet, right? It's just going from your computer to your computer. It's very simple, and you shouldn't have much network lag from that. You may have lag due to other things like your computer's hardware not being able to connect to the server, but you should not have any network lag if you're connecting to this IPv4 address that we just found in the command prompt. Let's go ahead and let Minecraft open. I'll do a quick jump once it's open and see you on the main menu. Here we are on the Minecraft main menu. As you can see, there's a mods tab here. We actually do have some mods installed. It's pretty cool. But we also have Forge beta up at the top. Now, it should be okay that we have mods installed, but we're going to see if it fails out. That's probably why, and I'll remove those and we can try again. Let's go ahead and click on multiplayer. Once we direct connect, my IPv4 address is already in there, but you would basically paste the IPv4 address that you found in CMD into here, and then click join server. Now, as you can see, close connection, mismatch mod channel list. That's basically saying we don't have the correct mods installed to play on this server. So let me go ahead and remove those mods real quick. I will see you after a quick jump cut. Here we are back in the Minecraft main menu. Now if we click on mods, we will see we just have Minecraft and Forge. That's what we should have, assuming your server doesn't have any mods on it. Now we can click on multiplayer, click on direct connect, got our IPv4 address in there, click join server, and this time it will join us right on in. As you can see on the left hand side, it's already joined us in. That's what all this like stuff happening on the left hand side is, and boom, here we are on the server, right like so. We can come over here, there's my username, Nick King has joined on in, awesome stuff. Our server is working for us. Now again, only you can join your server this way. This is a local server. It's good for testing, and it's good for just like, you to have a server to play on for whatever reason. If you want to use a server instead of a single player world, this is what you can do. But if you want your friends to join, which is the point of a server after all, isn't it? If you want your friends to join, well, and see that lag? That's just my computer not being good enough to run a Forge server. That's what I was talking about. But nevertheless, if you want your friends to be able to join this server, what do you do? Well, in that case, if you want your friends to be able to join, I'm just making like a little thing here so you know when we join back into the same server. But nevertheless, if you want your friends to be able to join, you're going to need to port forward, so let's go ahead and do that. First, let's disconnect from the server here, go back to the main menu, and then we can minimize the browser. We're also going to need, or minimize the browser, minimize Minecraft. We're also going to need to stop the server. To do that, just type stop over here in the command prompt, so stop, the word stop over here, and hit enter. This is going to shut everything down. You always want to do that instead of clicking the X or anything, because if you click the X, it might not actually close the server, it might cause corruption, so always type stop in the CMD to close your server. Now press any key to continue, and it will close. Now let's port forward. We've helped millions of people port forward, so I'm sure we'll be able to help you. If you've never done it before, it's fine. walk through the process slowly, and you can get it done. So anyway, when you're ready to port forward, we want to come over here to the Minecraft server folder first, and we want to double click on the server.properties file. Then you want to open it with Notepad if you've not already had that selected, and then you want to scroll down until you find server-ip equals. Right here it is for me. Now right next to server-ip equals, you want to copy your IPv4 address and paste it. So it should be server-ip equals, and then whatever your IPv4 address is with no spaces or anything like that. Then go ahead and do file save. That'll save your server.properties file, and you're done there. Now we need to go ahead and copy our default gateway, right? So copy the default gateway. Then come up here to your browser. Click on the new tab, as you can see here. So we've got a brand new tab, so you need to open a new tab if you don't have one, and then go ahead and paste in the search box right here where you would normally type in the breakdown at XYZ, youtube.com, the breakdowncraft.com, anything like that. Where you would normally type that in, you want to type in your IPv4 address and hit enter. Then you're going to be taken to a page that probably looks completely different from what you are seeing here. And that's okay. What will be the same is there will be some sort of a login box. Now in this login box that's here, whether it's popped in from the top, whether it's in the center of your screen, bottom of your screen, wherever it is, wherever that login box is, doesn't matter, but there will be some sort of login box. Now in this login box, you want to enter in your router's username and password. This is going to be a bit different than, your Wi-Fi password. How do you find it? Well, we have an in-depth tutorial in the description down below that will show you how to find your router's password. It's going to go over everything. I mean, truly everything you're going to need to do. 5 different methods to potentially find your router password. However, most people find it by method 3. They have found their router password and they are good to go. But yeah, that's how you can find your router's password. There are 5 different methods, and then you can come back and log into your router right like so. Now again, once you log into your router, it's probably going to look completely different from what my router looks like, and that is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine that the router looks completely different. But I'm going to be giving you a ton of different names and potential things that port forwarding could be in, and we've also got this tutorial, a complete guide to port forwarding on any router. It's got Netgear, it's got Linksys, it's got Verizon, AT&T, TP-Link, and many, many more popular routers. Even if your specific router isn't listed in this video here, guess what? It's probably going to be similar to one of the routers listed because there's only a few router companies, and truthfully, they just all kind of rename stuff and all that stuff. But nonetheless, you can check that out in the description down below. You can check out this tutorial on a complete guide to port forwarding on any router, and then once you watch all those videos, you'll be like, oh, this is similar to this router, even if your router isn't on the list. But nevertheless, once you're here, port forwarding could be in a few different places. For me, it is in security. For you, it may be in advanced. It may be in advanced. It may be in apps and gaming. It may be in port forwarding / port triggering. It may be in NAT gaming, NAT gaming. It may be in NAT forwarding, NAT forwarding. It could be in just port forwarding. A lot of times it's in the advanced tab or an admin tab or an administration tab. But nevertheless, for me, it is in security, and then is in apps and gaming, and then it is in single port forwarding. But at this point, we have finally found port forwarding. Now what we want to do is add a new single port forward. Now for me, I do have to click add a new single port forward. For you, you might just have to paste a bunch of these in. You might have like this big list of empty, boxes. If that's the case, you want to go ahead and just enter into one of those boxes. That's how you're going to do that. There's probably a save button still in this bottom right, and you can click save there. Now one thing I do want to say is I do apologize. There's a Florida storm on the way right now, and it is kind of the, I'm having to do a lot more jump cuts than I normally would because of the thunder. But nevertheless, I'm trying to get through this. Let's get through it, and then we'll be good. So anyway, for the application name or ID, you're going to want to put in Minecraft. It's going to identify what the port forward's for anything involving the word port. Port 1, port 2, external port, internal port, outside port, inside port, whatever the word port appears in, right? If there's the word port there, you want to put 25565. So for me, the application name or ID is Minecraft, and then for the port, hey, word port's there, 25565, internal port, word port's there, 25565 as well. For protocol, you want to do TCP or UDP/TCP, or both, whichever one allows you to select both protocols. However, if you can't select both protocols, just do the port forward twice, once for TCP and then once for UDP. Now for your device IP, if you have this, it's going to be your IPv4 address, which for me was 192.168.1.123. Now you may not have a place for an IP address, you may instead have a list for a drop-down box with all of the devices connected to your network. If that's the case, select the device you're starting the server on, so it's going to be your computer that probably you're all working on right now, right? So it's going to be that one. But nevertheless, let's go ahead, and after you've entered all that, you can click save. Now for some people, you're going to need an outside IP or external IP for your port forward. Not often anymore, but occasionally. And guess what? Even if you don't need that for your port forward, you're going to need your public external IP for your friends to be able to join your server. So to do that, let's go ahead and click on the description down below. What is my IP address? And here we have your public IP address. Now, for you, it is blacked out. You can only see the last 3 digits, 129. That is because you don't want to give this to anybody and everybody. As we said, this is not a public server. If people get your IP address, they can DDoS you. They can, they can figure out where you live. They can do so much off your IP address. You can actually see here, that latitude and longitude coordinates are listed because your public IP address gives all that information out. So anyway, go ahead and copy your public IP here, and then we can go ahead and go back over to our port forward if we need to add it here. Click apply, click OK, all that stuff. Then we want to go ahead, come back to here, start up our server with the run.bat file. Once the server is started up, we can jump into Minecraft and join this time with our public IP. So we click direct connect here, we can paste in our public IP. You can still see the 129 is there. It's the same thing we had back over on, the website. And then at this point, we're just waiting for the server to start up. I will do a quick jump cut, and then once the server started, we'll join in, and then we'll be done. There we go. The server is started up. We've got our public IP here. We can go ahead and click on join server, and it will join us right on into the server on the left-hand side. You can see Nick King. We've also got this joined in. This time we've joined via our public IP. Now, you may be able to join via your public IP, but if you can't, that's okay. Just join via your IPv4 address, your local one that we found in CMD, and your friends can join off of your public IP. However, what if your friends can't join off of your public IP? Well, if your friends can't join off of your public IP, then you need to sort out either an issue with your port forwarding, or it could be Windows Defender. And we do have a link in the description down below on how to set up Windows Defender for Minecraft servers, basically allowing Minecraft servers through Windows Defender. That is covered in the description down below in that video. It could be an antivirus on your computer as well, so you might consider disabling your antivirus just while you're testing your server, and then if your friends can join after disabling your antivirus, then you could go in and actually, add an exception to Minecraft or for Minecraft and for Java and all that stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now you have your Minecraft server set up, but this is a modded server after all, and I'm sure you want to add mods to it. So on your screen right now, there is a video on how to add mods to your server. It's also in the description down below. It goes over every single step of adding mods, where to find mods, all of that stuff, and then how to add them in single player to make sure that they do work correctly on your server. It's all covered in that video, so check it out in the description down below and on your screen right now. Come play with us on play.breakdowncraft.com, the best Minecraft server in the multiverse. My name is Nick. This has been The Breakdown. Thank you all so much for watching, and I am out. Peace.